Rosa Redom, they'll hope to bow out of continental competition on a high. A very good evening then from me, Tim Long, and welcome to Redom for the conclusion of the first ever Basketball Champions League regular season. Neptunas have made the 500-kilometre trip south from Lithuania to the centre of Poland, knowing there's a multitude of possibilities for them here tonight. The primary concern, picking up a win to give themselves a chance of a top 2 finish. All 4 of the final Group C games tip off at the same time today, which could be a dramatic conclusion to this group. If Neptunas win here and Asvel lose at Usak, then Neptunas will finish top of the group. If both Neptunas and Asvel win, but EVE lose against Varese, then Neptunas will take second place. And that is significant because the top 2 may well bypass the first round of the playoffs. The group winners certainly will. And then some of the best finishing second place teams will also make it through to the final round of the playoffs. And here we see the group standings. The top 3 will be the top 3, but it could be in any order. And Ventspils against PAOK, who play each other as well this evening, is key, because whoever finishes 4th will automatically qualify for the playoffs. The 5th place team will be left waiting to see if they're one of the 4 best 5th place teams from the 5 groups in order to go through. You might have seen Rosa down the bottom of the standings there. No chance of a Europe Cup place for them. And this is the Neptunas roster that they go up against here this evening. 3 Americans key. Jimmy Barron right in the centre there, leading the team with 15 points per game. Larry Drew just above him, 9.8 points. And team highs of 5.5 assists and 1.1 steals. And then Jure Grant at the bottom, 8.3 points and 5.7 rebounds a game. Neptunas are an impressive all-round rebounding team. 7 players averaging between 3.4 and 5.8 boards per game. The home team's roster looks like this. Down the bottom, Darnell Jackson has been their most impressive performer through this campaign. 13.4 points and a team high 7.2 rebounds. Michal Sokolovsky, the number 24, is the local star, averaged over 10 points and a second best 6.2 rebounds a game. And then Americans key in scoring as well, Callahan, Brazelton and Bell, but Tyrone Brazelton, who has been their leading scorer at over 15 points per game, has been missing for several weeks now, so much greater responsibility has been placed on Jordan Callahan, who's averaged 11 points per game since arriving halfway through the regular season, and on Gary Bell, who's averaged a team 3rd best 13.2 points per game. So plenty of crucial games taking place across Europe tonight and tomorrow night in the Basketball Champions League as the race for the playoffs reaches its conclusion. But here tonight, it's Rosa at 3-10, bowing out against Neptunas at 9-4. But this was a very tight matchup in Klaipėda back on game day 7. It was a tough 3-point loss for Rosa. They made more field goals, had a slightly better percentage, and had 7 fewer turnovers than Neptunas, but they sent their host to the line too often. Neptunas making 14 of 17 from this stripe, Rosa just 4 of 6. That bit of extra aggressive play perhaps on offense in the end the difference. There were clutch free throws down the stretch as well for the Lithuanians, who are usually very strong on home court. So that was one of the performances of the season from Rosa on the road to push Neptunas that close. And they will try and replicate it again here this evening. 3-10. They started with a win here against PAOK. Lost big at Ventspils on game day 2, and then a tough overtime loss here to Oldenburg on game day 3. They responded to that with back-to-back wins to go 3-2. And since then, though, it is 8 straight defeats, including their last 6 by double figures. They lost by 20 at Asvel last week, and by 13 here against Varese before that. As for Neptunas at 9-4, they made a flying start, won each of their first 5 games and 8 of their first 9 to sit top of the group, including that 66-63 win over Rosa in Klaipėda back on game day 7. Despite that 8-1 start, They then suffered a 3-game losing streak to fall to third, but they significantly got back to winning ways on home court last week, beating Ventspils 84-68, and that is significant because it puts them in a position here from which they can try and challenge for the top 2 spots in the group. As we see our officials from Estonia, the Czech Republic and Montenegro for this one, we're going to be underway in just a few minutes' time. Neptunas need to just concentrate on doing their part of the job here this evening. They need to win, there's no doubt about that, if they're to finish either first or second and bypass the first round of the playoffs. And they will also be left waiting to see if other results go their way, and I will keep you up to date with the games involving Asvel and EVE, who start the day first and second in Group C. Neptunas at third, even if they lose here, and will go through to the playoffs. It's just about whether they'll bypass that first round or not. Rosa have picked up 2 of their 3 wins in this competition on this court so far this season. Neptunas have been very strong in Lithuania, as you might expect, 6-1 on home court, which was why it was such an impressive performance from Rosa on game day 7 to only lose that game by 3 points. But on the road, Neptunas just 3-3, so they are far better on their home hardwood, and away from home just 3-3, lost by 9 at PAOK in Thessaloniki last time out on the road a couple of weeks ago. Here's their starting 5. I've talked about Grant and Drew. Amari Johnson, another key player there, averaging over 5 rebounds a game. And Kachinas, averaging a team-high 5.8 rebounds, was in the centre of that lineup there. And Martinas Majeka, another Lithuanian, filling out the starting 5 for coach Dainius Adomaitis. And you see Michal Sokolovsky of Rosa Ridom with coach Wojciech Kaminski. He's getting his final words across to his players, and there you see the starting 5. Damian Yeshka gets a start. Darnell Jackson, the key player perhaps for them. Jordan Callahan, a player who has to back him up in terms of scoring, more from the outside, with Jackson doing the damage on the inside. And they will want to put in one more big performance in this tournament before what is just their 2nd ever continental campaign comes to an end. In terms of the team stats, Neptunas only around the middle of the pack of this competition in terms of points and field goal percentage, but they're up in 3rd in rebounding, so that's the key for them, controlling the boards. They're the best defensive team in Group C as well, allowing their opponents on average just 69 points per game. The 6th best defensive record out of the 40 teams in the whole competition. As for Rosa, it has been a tough campaign. They're the least accurate shooting team in the whole of the Basketball Champions League. They average under 70 points per game themselves, so it's set to be another tough night here this evening. But having said all of that, home court can play a huge role. 3 of Neptunas' 4 defeats, as I've mentioned, have come on the road. They've been far more impressive at home, and as I've already mentioned as well, just 3 points separated these 2 in Lithuania back on game day 7. Here we go then, it's the Polish League silver medalists against the Lithuanian League silver medalists. A team ready to enjoy the final night of just its 2nd ever voyage into Europe, taking on another looking to navigate the best possible route into the playoffs. It's Rosa Ridom against Neptunas Klaipėda live on game day 14 of the Basketball Champions League regular season. Neptunas scrubbing the ball straight away, and straight away we have a whistle. Just 4 seconds in. So in fact it's going to be Rosa Redom, who are predominantly in white. Both of these teams wear white and blue. Neptunas in the darker blue strips today. Here's Sokolovsky for Rosa. Jackson looking to roll inside. Ball kicked by Mindaugas Kachinas, 23-year-old Lithuanian. Sokolovsky in, gets it back on this near side from Yeshka, across to the far side to Jordan Callahan. Callahan back to Sokolovsky, who fires the three with the hand in his face, can't hit. And Neptunas finally do get the ball. Larry Drew, 5.5 assists per game on average in this team, close to double figures in scoring as well. That's a fizzed pass in towards Kachinas. Kachinas backing in, going to work on Sokolovsky, who did just about enough to stand tall in the face of that challenge. It's still going to be Neptunas ball though. Larry Drew getting into the edge of the paint, fades away, hand in his face from Sokolovsky. Jackson the rebound, still no score. Bojanovski across to Callahan. Bojanovski getting a start for Rosa today, only averages 11 minutes per game. Sokolovsky on to Jackson. Here is Bojanovski. Sokolovsky on the left hand looking to drive in, and he got contact along the way from Omari Johnson. Already you can see the quality that Michal Sokolovsky possesses, young Polish player, 24 years of age, averaging 10.3 points, 6.2 rebounds and 2.3 assists per game in this competition. Here he is again, inside to Jackson. There was contact as he put it in. The foul on Martinas Majajka by the looks of it, called before the shot. 2 fouls on Neptunas as a team inside the opening minute and 16 seconds. In fact, it was Jerry Grant who picked up that one. Here's Callahan inside to Jackson again, moves it on, the cut down the baseline from Sokolovsky. Very nearly found, but Omari Johnson was there. Now here comes Majajka, force back, Grant will put it up, he misses, offensive rebound, should be the first score, still no score. And Sokolovsky fights clear with the ball. And that's going to be a third foul on Neptunas. No score in over a minute and a half at the start of this one. But Neptunas in early foul trouble. Kachinas with his first. There's a long way to go in this first quarter. Sokolovsky. Callahan directing a bit of traffic. Sokolovsky clings onto it. Yeshka back to Callahan on the near side, in towards his fellow American Darnell Jackson. He might think about going one-on-one here into the paint, kicks it back out. Callahan will shoot the three. Can't hit this shot. And then there's a foul underneath that's going to go this time on Darnell Jackson. Just the first foul on Rosa. Here's Larry Drew. Prodding and probing and clinging onto the ball. With plenty of confidence. Little shake and bait dribble. Majajka unable to hit the outside shot. We've gone over 2 minutes scoreless. They get a second chance opportunity again though. And this time Majajka makes no mistake. It's taken nearly 2.5 minutes for the first score. Callahan pulls up for a three. Off the mark. And already you can see why Rosa have the worst shooting accuracy in the competition. And that's an offensive foul for Neptunas. It's on Majajka, so they have 4 fouls now in just over 2.5 minutes of the first quarter. So from this moment onwards, any defensive foul from the Lithuanians will send the Poles to the line. Jackson setting a screen, Sokolovsky the long two, threw up an air ball. Some more of that evidence as to why their offensive efficiency and productivity hasn't been great in this competition. Second foul on Rosa is on Damian Yeshka. Shikshinius across to the far side to Drew. Hung high! Oh, beautiful! Drew to Grant for the alley-oop finish. Pinpoint pass, and Jerry Grant taking off. Yeshka across to Callahan. Rosa still looking for a first score. Shot clock down to the final seconds. Yeshka blocked off by Jerry Grant. Here they come in transition. Callahan bypassed on half court. It was 3-on-1 momentarily. Long two. Majeka knocks it down. Neptunas have scored the first 6 points. Sokolovsky. Into Darnell Jackson. Looking to go one-on-one with Grant here. Shoots over the top of them and finally gets Rosa on the boards. And it's taken 4 minutes. Majeka across to the far side. Not back this time towards Johnson. Putting the ball on the floor is Shikshinius, and putting the ball in the basket is Johnson. Darnell Jackson will shoot the three. He does have that shot in his game. And saved on the baseline by Majeka. Drew, back, three-point shot. Johnson, not this time, a rebound for Jackson. Long pass down the floor from him. Amari Johnson has plenty of length and athletic ability to get up to disrupt that and come away with the ball. Larry Drew to Shikshnius. Across to the far side, the three-point shot. No good, and the rebound grabbed by Bojanovski. Callahan looking to go through the gears, kicks it across to Sokolovsky on the far side. Yeshka will shoot the three from the high post, knocks it down. Damian Yeshka, big basket for Rosa. And they had really struggled, just one field goal in the first 5 minutes. Drew, Majeka, wide open three from the corner. They can't answer back. And Jackson eventually decides to go and see to it that the ball will be in Rosa's favour. And here come the changes. The likes of Vytautas Sharakauskas, 34-year-old veteran coming in. We do have good strength in depth. Neptunas Klaipeda. Callahan to the baseline, trying to squeeze it towards Bojanovski. I mentioned they have 7 players averaging between 3.5 and 5.8 rebounds per game. A couple of those coming in here. Here's Jackson, who's not too bad on the boards himself, can't quite squeeze that one in. And now a chance for Amari Johnson to come away with the ball. And the reaching called on Callahan. And so far, Neptunas have dealt quite well with their early foul trouble. They've been teetering on the limit for a good 3 minutes now. And Rosa is starting to catch them up. Gerchunas. Open three, plenty of time to line it up, and Sharakauskas makes the most of it. The lead doubled for the Lithuanians to 6. Sokolovsky behind the back dribble. Falls back beyond the perimeter though. Yeshka. Yeshka faced up by Sharakauskas. Darnell Jackson, shot clock's down to the final few seconds. That's a nice pass, and Bal is in the game and straight away having an impact. Gerjunas. Sharakauskas not going to take on the three this time. Jimmy Barron across to the far side, moved on by Johnson. Three-point attempt is good for Shikshnius. In fact, Gerjunas, I beg your pardon with that last one, so Neptunas up by 7. Bal Sokolovsky, aggressive play down the baseline, and then he was forced to retreat, but had the wherewithal to put it in. First score of the night for Michal Sokolovsky. Gerjunas, it's another 3 for the number 15. Back-to-back threes for Sharakauskas. There goes Bal getting away, attacking, beautiful move from Gary Bal as he turned on the afterburners and danced through the paint. Rosa trying their very best to keep up with Neptunas after such a slow start, and it took them 4 minutes to score. They trail by 6 points, 2.5 minutes to play in the first. Jimmy Barron, here he is again. Sharakauskas thought about another one. This time it's Gerjunas who hangs it up, puts it in. Neptunas are firing on all cylinders now. Bal fires it in towards Yeshka. Back out, turnover very nearly forced by Mindaugas catchiness, and in fact it was. 2 minutes of the first to play, and Šimković forced into the foul. It's 4 each now. Neptunas have gone over 5 minutes without a foul after 4 in the first around about 3 minutes. Barron, bounce pass towards Sharakauskas, and the foul is the 5th on Rosa. So they overtake Neptunas in that respect, and it's going to be foul shots. And Šimković picks up his second. It's foul shots for Jimmy Barron. Jimmy Barron averaging 15 points per game, shooting very impressive numbers, 58% inside and 51% from downtown. 3.4 rebounds per game as well. His team up by double figures. Bal to Vitka. Bypass Sokolovsky to find Šimković, who steps in, denied emphatically by Gerjunas. Here's Barron. Catchiness. There's the handoff. Gerjunas now on the offensive end. Sharakauskas set the pick and roll into the three-point position. Šimković down the floor, able to grab the loose ball and put it in. Big break for Rosa that time because Neptunas were really threatening to pull away. Sharakauskas thought about the three again, closed down quickly by Adams. Across to the far side it goes, into the corner. This time they do take it on, but there's a whistle. And it won't count for Gerjunas, who really has started well. He's doing a bit of damage at both ends of the floor. Mindaugas, Gerjunas. There was a foul in the build-up to that open three-point attempt, so Arvydas Shikshnius is at the line for Neptunas. 29-year-old Lithuanian who only averages under 3 points and around 2 rebounds a game. This competition, he makes just 1 of 2 from the line, so it's a single-digit game still, just about. Gary Bal, Sokolovsky. Vitka calling for the ball, it goes behind him. Adams forces it back out to the perimeter. Still 6 seconds to work with here. Šimković across to Bell. Bell puts the ball on the floor. Now he has to stop and pop. And that's the second air ball we've seen this quarter from Rosa. Gerjunas. Only shot 33% from the field in this tournament so far, Gerjunas. He looks hot this evening though. Here he is looking to attack again, into the paint. Can he squeeze that one in? Just a little off balance at the end of the shot clock, and in fact the ball didn't touch the rim. So 5 seconds remaining in the first, and Rosa get the defensive stop they needed, and now have a chance to try and reduce the arrears. In fact, they've called a foul by the looks of it. They've called that the ball was caught out of bounds, in fact. So Gerjunas will inbound for Neptunas. They have to get this shot away. And Šimković is able to grab the rebound at the end of the first quarter. It's a 9-point Neptunas lead. After a slow start, a big quarter of scoring for them. And Rosa have an even bigger task now.
Two different styles, sir. Adams on the court, Jackson. And here you need to reorganize as fast as possible. And they play top pick and roll. Adams defensive. Attack, okay, but open the passing angles. And here it's like one. Pass, okay, just come higher a little bit because he just jumps, okay. Okay, open passing angle. And he pass, okay, forward. Just cut, okay. Here, okay, space. Every time, okay? Then it's Jackson on the floor. 5 set of good screens every time.
Screen, and remember, go to such a quick pick, not too long. Okay? Set a pick, exige o canto, and immediately, and roll to the basket. Okay?
Really good performance in the end from the Lithuanians. Martynas Mažeika getting in to score. 22 points in the first quarter for them. Everybody contributing that, the play of the game so far. The pass from Larry Drew into Jerry Grant. And it's taken Darnell Jackson really battling away inside to try and help keep Rosa in it. In all honesty, down by double figures, struggling from the field. Now the only 3 they've got to go through Damian Ješka. And back-to-back threes for that man, Vytautas Šarakauskas. Sokolovsky has tried his best but struggled against this Neptunas defense, and they're the second three-pointer for Šarakauskas, the Lithuanian veteran. Gary Bell with a rare free path through the paint. And Šimković helping him out on the offensive boards that time in transition. Points, the lead for Neptunas. Rosa start with the ball at the start of the second quarter. Bauer will take on a 3 off the mark, and Drew happy just to let the ball bounce out for Neptunas possession. Šikšnius, back it goes to Johnson, across to Drew. Here's Jimmy Barron. Pick and roll in towards Jerry Grant. Back out. Three-point attempt. Too long. There's the tip. That won't go either. And Gary Bell's able to grab the ball and bring it away. Across to the far side it goes to Ziskowski. Back to Vitka. Šimković. Adams maybe coming out to set the screen. Rolls back inside. Bit of space now for Vitka to fire the 3. And they just keep on missing. They're getting good looks at the moment, Rosa. They're not taking the opportunity. And there's a look at the three-point shooting. 1 of 7 for the home team. 3 of 9 Neptunas. Drive down the baseline, kick out across to the far side. Šikšnius trying to squeeze it in. Vitka did well on defense, and here comes Ziskowski. Vitka, it's going to be a backcourt violation. And sums Rosa up at the moment. Good opportunity to get down the floor quickly. And then they turn it over. They just can't put anything together. It's not clicking for them. They haven't been able to establish any real rhythm just yet. 13 points in just 11.5 minutes. Fourth turnover for the home team. Larry Drew. Majeka to the far side to Drew again. Around the frame of Grant, who looks to roll into the centre once more. Here he is, one-on-one with Adams. Spin, left-hand hook shot. Very nearly got the chance of the three-point play. Jerry Grant right at the top of that pack of players that averages a decent amount of rebounds per game. 5.7 from him, as well as 8.3 points, but he's shooting over 50% from the field. He's only playing 21 minutes a game. And, when he plays longer, he's usually flirting with a double-double. Just one rebound away from one in the game day 7 meeting between these two. 10 points, 9 boards and a block in that game. 13 points and 8 rebounds in last week's win over Ventspils. And this is the foul shots here, but they grab the offensive rebound with Johnson. Majeka across to the far side, and it goes again to Grant, who moves it on towards the corner, but that was really well read from Kim Adams, who led Rosa in steals in their Europe Cup campaign last season. There's the drive inside by Zyskovsky, and Grant says, not here, not in my piece of paint. Difficult to find a way around him. Third block for Neptunas already. Vitka. Adams trying to recover, and did. Got there in front of Grant, back to Bell. Vitka thought about the three. Zegzula in the game, shot clock's running out. He has to throw it up here, he wasn't aware. And then I think spotted it out of the corner of his eye at the last split second. Drew onto the left hand, trying to go coast to coast. He misses. And we had a drought at the start of the first quarter. We got a drought at the start of the second as well. Nobody scored in 2.5 minutes. Bojanovski trying to change that. Banks in the three. Did he mean to do that? Bojanovski off the corner of the square. And we've got a timeout because Rosa have reduced the deficit down from double figures to 6 points.
We have good positions there. First, okay, if we are open, okay, we need to take the shots. Secondly, on short throw, when 5 receive, okay. 3 cutting, here is 4, okay. Just make good decision, okay. Here is good shot there. Or under the basket. And Jay, you have mismatch against Vitka, okay. We don't want to play in, out, okay, without any help. Just take it, play it. They go first, okay. Now, okay. 2 down. Jay, marches there.
One side play. So one more time. Good action. On cheat. Make one more dribble. You are too close to defense. Make one more dribble. And you have one more shot.
We saw on our graphics at the bottom of your picture during that timeout the rebounding numbers 19-12 in favour of Neptunas. That is their strongest area, and 7 of those on the offensive glass, giving them second chance opportunities, and they have been able to build up a lead of as many as 11 points, but it's now just 6. Here's Jerry Grant. Big physical matchup inside with Adams. Hook shot over the top, wouldn't go. And then turning and putting it in is Amari Johnson, another one of those offensive rebounds. He's got a few of them. Zegzula. Adams trying to create room on the perimeter for his teammates. Bell steps back, long two, he can't hit. And the rebound's pulled in by Catchiness. Larry Drew. When it goes to Jerry Grant. He's backing in against Adams again, twisting one way, then the other, has to force it up and puts it in somehow. Sheer force of will. Second field goal for Jerry Grant. Here's Bell. Lead is back to 10 again. Bell looking for Adams, who got free under the hoop and blew the open layup. Well, Rosa have really struggled from the field, and when they get those kind of opportunities, they simply have to take them. It's inexcusable, really, as far as Kim Adams is concerned. The easiest opportunity of the lot for Rosa. And an unsportsmanlike foul in the aftermath of that has come against Maciej Bojanowski. So Neptunas with an opportunity to extend their lead beyond 10 with Larry Drew at the line. He's had that highlight reel assist already, but in terms of scoring he's now up and running as well. This is the second after the unsportsmanlike. It is possession as well for Neptunas. Majeka. There's contact in the paint there. It's another foul against Bojanowski. Third foul on him already. Third team foul for Rosa in the quarter. Larry Drew fired in towards the centre and off the mark from Majeka. It's good defence. Here comes Callahan. Got away, but it was wild off the backboard. And the finishing around the rim has been so poor. Murray Johnson. Back it goes to Larry Drew. He's directing a bit of traffic. Gets it back from Sharakauskas. And he'll fire the three this time. Rebound for Darnell Jackson. Wide open three. Rosa desperately in need of something, and they're not going to get it. 16 points in 15 minutes for them now. Still the deficit is only 11. It's been a low scoring contest. And it bounced on the line as Martinez Majeka looked to control it. So a turnover for Neptunas. And there'll be disappointment on their bench, I think, from coach Danius Adamaitis. He will feel that, given the shooting performance of the opposition, that his team should be out of sight by now, but they've only scored 27. And look at the shooting in this quarter. 1 of 10 for the home team, 2 of 8 for the visitors. Jackson. Crossfield pass to Callahan behind the back dribble. Stuck to like glue by Drew. And he spins towards the edge of the paint. Can't bank it in still. And that, for a player of his scoring ability in this competition, well, it should be inevitable. Jackson able to recover. He's done well to get there. The big man to get down and grab it before it hit the baseline. Callahan shooting 40% from the field for 11 points per game in this tournament. Here he is again, into Jackson. I wouldn't say it was a completely open layup that he blew. It was a little further away from the backboard than that. It wasn't as bad as the one earlier in the quarter that Kim Adams missed, but he should have made it. Callahan to inbound. Darnell Jackson. Callahan on the move, trying to create room on the perimeter for Ziskowski. Darnell Jackson goes to attack, and he's tracked all the way by Szychnius, who picks up the foul. Darnell Jackson then out the line. Certainly has been the standout performer in this Rosa team. 13.4 points, 7.2 rebounds, shooting 50% from the field. He's also hit 14 of 31 from three-point range for 45%. Not bad for a big man at all. Ten points the difference. Gerjunas. Sherakauskas. Waited for Jimmy Barron to come and take the ball from him. Here is Barron, corner of the paint, puts it up, was well short. Jeschke trying to tip it. Able to move it quickly to Zyskovsky, on to Bal, who hangs it in towards Jackson. And he will make the easy finish this time. So now Jackson making it a single-figure game again, and all of a sudden, Rosa have confidence brewing, and Neptunas forced to call the timeout.
Hey, guys, only one team foul. Make fouls, stop fouls, make it fouls. Come on, hey. How many times you can repeat the same shit? No one flash. They won't flash. Jimmy here. Yeah, continue. Did they hear? Set a good screen, okay, Jimmy, when you play. Just watch out. Give it.
So the back screen, try to hit him. Hey, Jesu, if this guy will help, skip us to the corner, okay? Let's go. Go.
You can see there the poor shooting from Rosa, around 33% inside, just 20% from the outside, although they have scored double the points of Neptunas in the paint so far. And Darnell Jackson with a couple to take us into the timeout. That gets Rosa within 8 points. Schichnius. And now Jimmy Barron. Barron across to Gerjunas to fire the three. He's off the mark as well. Here comes Zyskovsky. Gary Bal is going to be called for a carry there. Ball just got away from him on the dribble. No cutting edge from Rosa whatsoever. They've had a few of those fast break opportunities and not made the most of them. Barron, long three-pointer! Right on the money from way beyond the setting sun. Jimmy Barron with his first from the outside. Neptunas up by 11. Jeschke. Darnell Jackson looking to spin. Had it knocked away, but he was fouled. First foul on Sherakauskas. Just the second team foul on Neptunas. And Jerry Grant comes back in for them. Maybe to try and stop the bleeding in the paint, where Rosa have been the better of the two. Jordan Callahan into Sokolovsky. Zyskovsky just hangs it over the top of Grant. Beautiful floater from Zyskovsky. He had a horror show in the game in Klaipeda, game day 7. He was 0 of 8 from the field. Here's Barron, who hit that long three-pointer on their previous offensive possession. Neptunas up by 9. Jackson closes him out on the perimeter and picks up the foul. 4th on Rosa in this second quarter. The first personal on Darnell Jackson. Jerry Grant. And there's the handoff to Jimmy Barron. He's going to go for another back-to-back threes for Barron. And Neptunas up by double figures again. Sokolovsky. Callahan. Jeschke looking to set a screen. Rolls inside. Callahan back over to the far side to Sokolovsky. Jackson then setting the screen, creates room for him to fire the three. Nothing going down from the outside for Rosa whatsoever. Kerjunas, and an offensive foul called against Jere Grant. Rosa have not played well in this first half, but they're only down by 12, and the aim for them over the course of the next 1 minute and 44 seconds will be make this a single-digit game going into the break. It's always a good psychological advantage as opposed to a double-digit deficit. And only a few points away from making it single figures. Zyskovsky back out, Sokolovsky. Zyskovsky looking to turn, and he's fouled by Kerjunas. A couple of nice plays now on the offensive end from Yaroslav Zyskovsky, the 24-year-old Pole. Averages 6.5 points, 2.3 rebounds and 1 steal per game in this competition. He shot 50% inside across the course of the regular season, but just 18% from three-point range. Hits his foul shots and makes this a 10-point game. There's a foul on Sokolovsky over on the far side away from the ball. And that's going to take Rosa over the limit for the quarter. So it's going to be free throws for Neptunas. Sokolovsky's first foul. And it sees Jimmy Barron at the line with a chance to move into double figures. Took him a while to get going, but now he's hit 2 from the outside and 4 from the line for 10 points. 22 points, as well as 6 assists in last week's win. Yeshka to Jackson, 12-point lead again. Sokolovsky approaching the final minute of the second quarter. Zyskovsky turns towards the baseline and he's fouled by Barron. Seeing a lot of the ball now on the offensive end is Zyskovsky. First foul on Barron. Non-shooting foul, but Rosa knew that Neptunas were at the foul limit, so Zyskovsky able to draw the contact and get to the line for these two. Rosa battling to stay around about this distance behind Neptunas. Big final minute of the second quarter. Larry Drew. Quick roll into the centre from Sharakauskas. Comes out to the perimeter again. Rolls in once more, and there's a foul called on Darnell Jackson. So it's going to be free throws for Larry Drew. Second on Jackson. Kim Adams back into the game for Rosa. 45 seconds remaining in the first half. Larry Drew at the line, and this is a Neptunas lead that's been alternating between 12 and 10 points for quite some time. Larry Drew trying to take the Lithuanians back ahead by that 12-point figure. This is the second one though, and that's last touch out of bounds off Rosa. So Sharakauskas battling away off the missed foul shot, earning his team a possession and a chance to stretch the lead here. Here is Drew, kicks it out. Three-pointer for Johnson, won't go. Another offensive rebound, Damari Johnson again. Rosa being battered on the boards, and that's high off the glass, wouldn't fall for Drew. It would have been an impressive finish. In the end, it was nowhere near the rim. Just 3 or 4 seconds differential between shot and game clock at the end of the first half. Callahan to the far side, gets it back from Jeschke. 5 to shoot for him now. Callahan steps back for the 3 and drains it. Jordan Callahan. A collector's item from downtown. Oh, and that almost pops in. Rosa hitting from the outside for the first time in what seems like an eternity. And that gives them a bit of cause for optimism heading into the break. They trail just by 8 points in the end. Rosa Redom 28, Neptunas Klaipėda 36. Here's a look at those shooting stats. Rosa just 3 from the outside all game long, and the third one of those coming right at the end there. They were just 2 of 11 before that one. Struggling inside as well, just 36%, but so too in Neptunas. The difference is they've hit a couple of extra 3-pointers, a few extra from the foul line, but look at the rebounding numbers. That's been key in this first half. 10 on the offensive glass for Neptunas, just the 3 for Rosa, and that has given them the lead despite those 7 turnovers. Rosa have protected the ball relatively well, they just haven't shot it very well. It is a low-scoring game here in the Basketball Champions League regular season. Jimmy Barron leading the way of all scorers in the game on 10 points. Ziskovsky has 6, most of those coming late in the second quarter for Rosa. And Majeka there responsible for 3 of those 7 Neptunas turnovers. As we see, the leading scorer Sharakauskas back-to-back 3s for those 6 points. Gerjunas had a 3 as well, 5 points for him. Darnell Jackson inside for Rosa with 5. It's been a bit of a slow burner, this one, but Neptunas haven't taken their opportunity to pull away after a really poor start from Rosa. They didn't score for the first 4 minutes of the game, and then had another drought at the start of the second quarter as well. Neptunas up by double figures on numerous occasions, but Rosa able to keep themselves in the game, battle away, and try and get themselves into a position from which they can come back and cause an upset in the second half. At half-time, they trail by 8 points. Do join us for the second half here in around 10 minutes' time. Welcome back to Radom, Poland, where Rosa have only scored 28 points in the first half, but yet they trailed just by 8. Neptunas not taking their opportunities to put this game to bed, and still we go into the second half wondering where in the top 3 they will finish. They did lead for the vast majority of that first half by double figures, led by the 10 points of Jimmy Barron. Sharakowskis has knocked down a couple of 3-pointers for them, but it's been a low-scoring game. It's been, in all honesty, a low-quality game, given other matchups we've seen in this competition. It's got that feeling about it of an end to the regular season game that doesn't really matter too much for Rosa. They are bottom of Group C and can't finish any higher. But for Neptunas, there is still plenty on the line, and maybe that late 3-pointer in the second for Rosa that made it a single-figure game will just kick them into gear a bit, because the lead for Neptunas is only 8 points, despite having been up by double figures for most of the first 2 quarters.
Let's play game, let's play game 3 up. And good decision here, Soko and Jay. When you said to speak, hey, he will bump. You try to bump this guy, you man. So when you see that he's not connect with you, 4 or 5, so like slide double, and you have wide open shot on the top. Okay? If you don't, so you go to the corner, Jesu, to maintain.
Okay? Catch. Four. You're setting it. Pick the picker who can flash in or can then go to the ball. Okay? It's more just switch between. 5 sides. Okay, let's go, let's go, let's go!
Well, there'll be a few perhaps on the bench for Neptunas, casting an eye on the scores elsewhere in Group C as this second half progresses. Neptunas hoping to finish in the top 2 to bypass the first round of the playoffs. If they were to finish 3rd, they would have to play extra games in the playoff system. And as things stand elsewhere, a 17-point lead for EVE Baskets Oldenburg over Varese is not good as far as Neptunas are concerned. They need either EVE or the group leaders Asvel to lose. And if they're to jump into one of those top 2 spots, the good news for them is that USAC and Asvel are level at half-time, 35-35, so still a chance of a bit of an upset there, and a chance for Neptunas not just to finish second, but win the group, in fact, if they win here and Asvel lose against USAC. Second half underway. This is Majeka. Cross to the far side. 3 for Gerdjunas off the front rim. Grabbed by Amari Johnson, who tries to squeeze it off Ziskowski, and he has done, to keep Neptunas in possession. Kachinas inbounds to Jure Grant. Gerdjunas across to the corner, receives it back now. Grant looking to set a screen. Back out it goes. The 3 for Johnson. That one's short as well. Another offensive rebound, and that was a theme in the first half. Rosa just haven't been able to protect their own backboard, and driving down the baseline for the dunk is Kachinas. Neptunas up and running in the second half, and back up by double figures. Yeshka to Darnell Jackson. Darnell attacking Grant, the 2 most physical players on the court, but he slips and turns it over. And gets perhaps a little bit of a patronising pat on the back from Jure Grant. Gerdjunas around the high screen of Grant, who rolls into the centre, stuck to by Callahan, but there's a mismatch there. Instead it's Samari Johnson who's able to drive away from Ziskowski to finish. And the referee has stopped the play here because there's that slippy patch on the floor where Darnell Jackson went down, and he just wants to make sure that that's safe. You can't have a slippy surface where the players can lose their footing on. That's the drive down the baseline and the dunk for Kachinas. Neptunas up by 12. We'll try and keep you up to date as much as possible with that Asvel score, which seems like it's going to be significant as we move through the second half here. Zyskovsky to Callahan. Jackson, pick and roll into the centre, kicks it to the corner, but the pass was off the mark to Sokolovsky, who couldn't keep his balance, and Rosa turned the ball over again. You have to say there's not much of an atmosphere inside this arena as well. Difficult scenario for Rosa, already guaranteed bottom place in the group. Nothing really to play for apart from pride. Three-pointer short for Kachinas. And Sokolovsky. Jackson battling away with Grant. Those two going toe-to-toe in this third quarter. Here they go again. Darnell Jackson. That's a better pass to Zyskovsky for three. Jackson battling for the rebound. Instead it's Kachinas who comes away with it. Gerjunas. This time around the frame of Grant. Back out. Amari Johnson. He gets into the paint. Outstretched. Long right hand. Beautiful finish off the glass. Amari Johnson doing a bit of window shopping. Zyskovsky. Callahan. Zyskovsky again. And it's knocked away. And here come Neptunas again, looking to blow this game wide open. The lead is 14. Mendogas Gerjunas into Jerry Grant. Or rather, Omari Johnson gets it back now in the high post. 6 seconds to work with. Onto the left hand, back onto the right quickly. The stop and pop on the foul line, but he can't get the drop. And Sokolovsky grabs the rebound. Quick play down the court. Zyskovsky attacking, getting contact and putting it in with the foul from Grant. That's a vital play to keep Rosa in it if they do have ambitions of winning their final game in this competition. Neptunas had opened up the largest lead of the game at 14. Third foul on Grant, who's disappointed with himself. This game is a few minutes ahead of the USAC Asvel game in this group, which it looks like Neptunas will be looking to, perhaps when it's all said and done. So they'll face maybe a little bit of a wait to see if they're through to the second round of the playoffs or have to play in the first round. Still a long way to go here, though. Rosa still only down by 11. Gerjunas. Jimmy Barron. Barron fading to the side, taking on the three, missing. And Zyskovsky and Yeshka able to grab the rebound. Here's Bal. Bal, the three-pointer off the front rim. Wouldn't go. Yeshka battling for the rebound. He's saying the last touch was off a Neptunas player. And it does look as though that's the call. In fact, there's a foul on Mendogas Kachinas. Darnell Jackson looked like he was going to take the shot on straight away. Instead, he'll try and bulldoze his way through and puts it in with the contact. Darnell Jackson. And he's looking just to provide one more big performance in this competition. Maybe put himself in the shot window. Three-point play completed by Darnell. All of a sudden, it's an 8-point game again. It had been a 14-point Neptunas lead. Shichnius On to Gerjunas. Gerjunas across to the far side. Šikšnius in the corner for three. That's beautiful basketball from the Lithuanians. Sokolovski. Callahan. Callahan prodding and probing. Darnell Jackson moves inside. Callahan will take the shot on himself. Misses. Rebound pulled down by Barron. Jimmy Barron happy to take his time and find Mindaugas Gerjunas. He gets it back from Šikšnius, who'd hit the three on the previous possession. Out to the corner now to Johnson. Shot clock down to the final 5 seconds. Šaraškauskas, they move it to the corner again for another three, and the foul on the three-point shot as Arvydas Šikšnius was getting ready to reload. And they'd seen what he could do. Ješka called for the contact, so it's going to be 3 foul shots for Neptūnas to try and take the lead back to 40. In fact, it was Mindaugas Gerjunas, who's also hit from the outside, who was caught there. He's making the most of this opportunity. The first 2 for him good. It's a 14-point lead again. Ball into Callahan, just forced away at the last moment by Šikšnius. That's nice. Darnell! A big Jackson jam. 10 points now for Darnell Jackson. The lead is 12. That's probably the play of the game for Rosa. Darnell Jackson coming to the fore in the third quarter to try and keep his team in it. But that's easy for Neptūnas, right through the paint. 10 points now as well for Amari Johnson. Callahan back out to Darnell. There's the handoff to Bell. Jackson's free on this near side of the paint. Callahan, the three-pointer. 5 quick-fire points for Rosa. Single-figure game again. I beg your pardon, 11 still, the differential. Well, don't leave him with that kind of room. Vytautas Šaraškauskas hits his third from the outside. Criminal on defense from Rosa. Jackson, the three to answer back from a couple of feet beyond the arc. Darnell Jackson doing it inside and out now. Šaraškauskas. The handoff to Jimmy Barron. Šaraškauskas moving inside. Barron closed out by Bell. Well, flicked away off the fingertips of Ješka. They come up with a turnover. Sokolovski, the three. Well, that would have really been a momentum builder for Rosa to reduce the gap to 8 again. Business certainly starting to pick up now in the third. And the fans getting going a little bit as well. It's been a bit of a drab affair. Pretty quiet in the arena. Pretty low-key on court. But all of a sudden, the game's sparking into life. And you add into the mix that USAC are currently leading Asvel by 5. And this could be very interesting for the rest of these 13 minutes. As Barron finds Amari Johnson. Now Majejka. Shot clock down to the final seconds. Majejka has got to get the shot away. He's got a bit of contact there, or did he know? It was a turnover. Majejka took the extra step as he was trying to get free at the end of the shot clock. Here's Bell to Ješka. Oh, what a pass that is, and Darnell Jackson, the basket wouldn't count. In fact, he's called for a travel. The pass from Damian Ješka, though, was to be admired. The 21-year-old Pole, eye of the needle stuff. And Jackson, for the first time in the second half, letting his team down. There's the handoff to Barron, who unloads from downtown. Rebound pulled in by Šipković. He clings onto the ball. He's looking for Darnell Jackson and realises he has room to shoot. Darnell Jackson almost reeled in the offensive rebound, but it came off his fingertips to Jimmy Barron. 11 points the difference still. Amari Johnson, long two, is right on the money. He's had a good game. 12 points for Johnson, shooting 50% from the field. Jackson to Bell. Darnell Jackson fakes the three, steps inside to the foul line. Jeschke banks it in. Couple of big plays for Damian Jeschke. Didn't get the reward for his pass on the previous possession. He gets 2 points himself there. Jimmy Barron squeezing the ball out of the double team. Space on the far side, wide open. Majeka trying to drive in. And the foul called on Rosa. Šimković takes a seat. Well, Jeschke takes a seat. Šimković has picked up his third foul. He'll probably go to the bench as well. Staying in the game, the number 22. Here's Jimmy Barron. He kicks it to the corner. There's a whistle. And Darnell Jackson has picked up a foul. That's the fourth team foul on Rosa, third personal on Jackson, so he takes a seat now. Having had a good performance in this third quarter so far, Darnell Jackson. Condova's catching this inbounding. Jimmy Barron. 10 seconds to work with, across to the far side it goes. A minute and a half remaining in the third. Shot clock down to 5 now. There's the pick and roll inside. Sharakauskas was stuck to all the way though. And Sokolovsky comes up with the ball. Rosa trying to make it a single-figure game, heading towards the fourth quarter. Sokolovsky. Šimković. Adams setting the screen across to the far side. Three-pointer. Gary Bell drops a bomb. 8-point game again. Rosa refusing to go away now. They found a bit of flow on offense after a stuttering display in the first half. Rosa scored 13 points in the first quarter, 15 in the second quarter. They already have 19 here in the third. Jimmy Barron. Wide open on the far side was Laurynas Palauskas, the 19-year-old who's only just come in, but was tipped away and out of bounds by Šimković. Only 4 left to shoot here for Neptunas. Straight into Jimmy Barron, who gets it away and puts it in with the contact. It took just a second. In the blink of an eye, Jimmy Barron punishes Rosa. Well, they'd worked them into a difficult position with just 4 seconds on the shot clock and the inbound pass, but Jimmy Barron getting away and finishing beautifully and getting contact along the way as well from Gary Bell. A chance at a 3-point play to make it an 11-point lead. And he does just that. Neptunas need to win this game to try and win the group, and they will win the group if Asvel lose. They're currently the French champions, down by 5 at USAC Sportif. Here's Bell onto the left hand, driving into the paint, switches onto the right for the shot, knocked away though underneath by Sharakauskas. Here's Balauskas, 19-year-old point guard. Final seconds of the third, the ball in his hands. Sharakauskas comes out and gets on the move. And it goes towards the veteran. Sharakauskas turning and hitting, the 19-year-old and the 34-year-old combining. Neptunas at the end of the fourth, up by 13, and for all of Rosa's good work and improvement, certainly on offence, they still couldn't stop Neptunas on defence. They trail by 13 at the end of 3, 47-60.
Hey, listen. Offensively, take care about turnovers. Now turnovers again. Don't give him nothing easy, okay, to score. Okay? All this pick and roll, when 1 or 2, okay, 5. And now Adam, the champion. 4. Don't. 5, 8. Don't roll in. Make like short.
We don't press on the ball. Guys, when they got 4 seconds, we have to press on the ball. What they can do. And we will stay along, hands down. Hey, first nation.
Well, by far and away the best quarter of the game so far, the biggest scoring quarter for both of these two teams. Rosa improved to score 19 points in the third. The problem for them, Neptunas Klaipėda hit 24. Ready to start the fourth quarter in Radom, Poland. There you see the breakdown of the scoring, those big third quarter tallies for Rosa and Neptunas, but it translates to a 13-point lead for the Lithuanians. And the Poles will start with the ball. Neptunas potentially only 10 minutes of basketball away from winning Group C. Sokolovski rolling towards the baseline, back out, three-point attempt for Vitka is short. They've struggled from the outside all game long. Sokolovski got bumped by Szyksnius, and he will take a trip to the line. Second foul on the Neptunas number 6. It's been a struggle for Sokolovski so far, who I feel has got such potential, but his shooting does let him down at times. He's shot 35% from the field through the competition. It's both from the foul line, and Coach Kaminski will be hoping his team can make it a game through the fourth, and that certainly could make it a dramatic finish because the game is so close between Usak and Asvel. 5-point advantage for the Turks. Neptunas back up by 11 here, thanks to Majajka. Gary Bell. Vitka. Kim Adams. Ball on the move again. Takes it off Adams, who got away from the two perimeter defenders. They turn the ball over though. Majajka into Grant. Grant looking to go one-on-one and back Vitka down. Little baby Herc gets the pretty roll. Neptunas up by 15, and in fact now this is the largest lead of the game for them. Vitka. Here's Bell towards Vitka. The steal by Majajka, intercepting the pass. And Neptunas can look to extend that largest lead of the game, although it's almost turned right back over. And two Rosa players battling for the same ball. Gary Bell and Šimković both going for it. Szyksnius. Hand off to Majajka, and a reach-in called on Bojanovski this time. Usak now lead Asphalt by 8 points. It's looking good for Neptunas. Majeka. They have to make sure they finish this one here. Corner 3 won't go. Victor able to grab the rebound. Across to Robert Victor it goes, and then to Sokolovsky. And it's still going to be Rosa ball. And is there going to be a Rosa rally over the first 8 minutes? Neptunas looking comfortable, leading by 15. Szymkiewicz. Sokolovsky, crossover onto the left hand. He hangs high off the window, wouldn't go. Able to grab his own rebound though. Back out, Vitka. Fresh 14 seconds to work with off the offensive rebound. The roll inside by Adams. Back out to Vitka it goes for the 3. And that looked off all the way. High screen set by Grant, who receives it in the high post. He's looking across to the far side to Majeka. Finds him now eventually. Shot clock down to the final 5 seconds. The 3-pointer way wide of the basket, and Adams grabs the rebound. Robert Vitka. Now Kim Adams across to Michal Sokolovsky. Fired in. Bojanovski on the turn. Able to grab the rebound and put it in. Second bite of the cherry for Bojanovski. 13-point game, 7 minutes to play. EVE Baskets Oldenburg, by the way, are still up big against Varese. 19-point lead there in the third quarter. So it looks as though they're going through as the second place team. It's just about whether it's Neptunas or Asphalt. They were first or second. Neptunas needing USAC to get a result against the French champions. Six minutes and 19 to play. Szychnius with his third foul. So while we have this stoppage, just to clarify the position, Neptunas needed to win here in this one, and then they needed either Asphalt, who started the day top of Group C, or EVE Oldenburg, who started the day second, to lose if they were going to jump into the top 2 places and bypass the first round of the playoffs. Just to clarify, all of these teams are going through. The top 3 teams we've been talking about. It's just about whether they have to play in that additional first round of the playoffs or not. Neptunas ideally, of course, would want to win the group and play fewer games, be able to concentrate more on domestic competition, be more refreshed for when the second stage of the playoffs starts in a few weeks' time. And as things stand, it is Neptunas who are winning the group, because they're winning here and Asphalt are losing at USAC. They'll turn the ball over though with Jimmy Barron, and there's a chance for Rosa to make it a single-figure game again. Vitka. Szymkiewicz getting free in the paint. Pass doesn't come into him though. Szymkiewicz again. Here's Vitka. Vitka putting the ball on the floor. Then towards the corner of the paint. Floater won't go for him, and not quite able to retrieve the ball on the baseline is Mendogas Gertjunas. So this is still going to be Rosa ball. Zyskowski. With Szymkiewicz, young Polish players getting a chance in this final game of the Basketball Champions League regular season for Rosa, playing big minutes. It will help aid their development. Bojanovski, another one, just 20 years of age. He's played a lot more in this game than he has previously in this competition. Damian Yeshka as well. Here's Kim Adams. Jordan Callahan. Across to Robert Vitka. Move to the corner. Here is Bojanovski. The 3 wouldn't go. That would have made it an 8-point game again with 5.5 to play. Gerjunas. In the corner now is Samari Johnson. Inside it goes, gets it back from Sherakauskas from the foul stripe he can't hit, and Adams reels in the rebound. This one's not done yet. Look at the drought at the moment for Neptunas as Callahan floats one in. Halfway through the 4th quarter, it's a single-digit game again. And a timeout called by coach Adomaitis for Neptunas. Not happy at all. It's a drought of nearly 4 minutes for them.
And they come, okay, they play. Go over. Not into the screen. Go over the screen and okay, be enough. Okay. If you cannot make push under, okay, then go over. Now not to the screen. Light them up. Okay. 4, 5.
Let's play regular 3 up. Only put Magic here. He's guarding by the bottom. So, Jay, when you say good peak, your defender will stay under the basket to bomb. So, all that. If he's not connect, go to the top and top pick and roll. Zizou, piensa opcja.
Nice pass that time from Jure Grant for Martinas Majajkovic. It's been some time since Neptunas have scored points. Bojanovski putting that one in at the second chance after missing the layup initially. And that part of a little bit of a Rosa rally. And close the gap down from around 15 points to just 9. Sherakauskas left unguarded, couldn't hit the 3 that time. Callahan gets it back, got Adams from Vitka, across to the far side it goes. There's Callahan, he'll shoot the 3 and hits as well. And Rosa are as close as they've been in a long time. Double figures for Callahan, it's a 6-point game, 4.5 to play. Neptunas need to step it up here on the final stretch. Long 2 won't go for them. Offensive board and put back in by Amari Johnson. Big play for him on the glass. There's the trap on the far side as Siskovsky handles the ball and he's forced into a travel by Szychnius. And that is a big offensive play followed by a big defensive play when Neptunas were in a little bit of a tricky situation. Amari Johnson and then Arvydas Szychnius stepping up. A chance to make it a double-digit lead again now. Johnson across to the far side to Gerjunas. Grant was battling to try and get free, now comes out to set the screen. Found by Jimmy Barron. He swivels in the paint, swivels again. Still going up against Adams to the far side. They put it up at the end of the shot clock and an offensive rebound for catchiness now. In fact, it didn't hit the rim though, so it's a shot clock violation. Neptunas potentially 3.5 minutes away from winning Group C. And as things stand, forcing Asvel to play in the first round of the playoffs, whereas Neptunas and EVE Oldenburg would jump straight through to the second round as the 1 and 2 teams in the group. Bell to Callahan. Jackson moving into the paint. Callahan bypasses him, finds Bojanovski, but he had a foot on the line and turns it over. Tough one to take for the 20-year-old. Junas moved on by Grant. Grant trying to get back on the end of Barron's return ball. It's an offensive foul called though. Jimmy Barron leading the way in scoring for Neptunas, but Jerry Grant, who was on the move that time, called for the offensive foul, and that's his 4th foul of the game. He takes a seat with 3 minutes and change remaining. Rosa could make it close again. Callahan, Sokolovsky, Darnell Jackson with a pick and roll. Bell driving in, trying to get it to go off the backboard, but he can't. And coming away with the ball is Amari Johnson. Junas getting away from 2, outstretched right hand, couldn't flip it up and in. And this is going to be Rosa ball. You can tell that Coach Kaminsky is still hopeful his team can come up with an upset. They want to end this competition on a high if they can. They're currently on an 8-game losing streak, will finish 8th in Group C, but they would love to finish with a win. Timeout called.
Vite on the top. Sokol. Got it. Okay. Vite, nie za wysoko. Hey, no boy. Set a peak. Make a line to pass the ball. Got it. Don't try to squeeze the baseline. Got it.
Marches to go like Pointer to take catches. Here. Marches. Jimmy here. Go here. Let's go. Let's go.
So this has become a really intriguing finish to this one. Callahan knocking down a 3-pointer. Not been too many of those for Rosa here this evening, but that's a big one that gets them close with a few minutes to play. Tunas have led by as high as around 15. They've led by double figures for large parts of this game and look to be cruising towards the win, which they're looking for to try and finish in the top 2 in Group C, but it doesn't look anywhere near as clear-cut now. 8-point game, 2.5 to play. Here's Callahan, who hit that 3-pointer. Now Gary Bell, around the frame of Vitka. Bell looking to drive, underneath the hoop. Sokolovsky, the 3 from the corner is good for him, and we've got a 5-point game on our hands. The Polish push continues. And the fans start to play their part as well. There's the roll inside from Sherakauskas. Barron shoots the 3. It was well short. And will go out and behind. Wasn't able to hit the rim. Jimmy Barron. Now Neptunas, Clay Pedder would be left kicking themselves if Asvel lose, and they weren't able to get the win here. Darnell Jackson back in the game, having been in foul trouble. Gary Bell, now Callahan. Jackson. There's the handoff to Callahan again. Jackson moving into the paint, posting up one-on-one. High entry pass into Jackson, up against Grant. There's the pirouette in the paint, and he has to settle for the foul shots. And the foul on Jerry Grant, I think, might be his 5th. It is. So Jerry Grant will play no further part. And with 96 seconds to play, with Darnell Jackson back in the game, and with Rosa closing the gap, that could be pivotal. Husak leads Asvel by 8 at the moment. So Neptunas looking like they're in a position where a win would see them win the group. They're only up by 4 though. It does remain a 2-possession game at least after Darnell Jackson misses that second foul shot. Martinas Majajka onto Sharakauskas. Jimmy Barron, they move it across to the corner now to Majajka again. Puts it on the floor, long two, over the top of the defence, won't go. They're not getting good looks now. Here's Jimmy Barron, they save it on the baseline. 10 seconds to work with for the leading scorer of this team through the course of the season. And putter off the mark, but a foul by Martinas Majajka. You have to say the first half of this one was pretty poor, given some of the games we've seen in this competition this season, but it's certainly picked up in the second half. And Rosa, you have to give them a great deal of credit for that. They've stepped up their game and started to push Neptunas, who seem to be in cruise control at times. And they've increased the intensity of the whole game. They've made it a dramatic finish. And they've made it exciting. And a missed foul shot gives Rosa an even better opportunity. The lead is 5 for Neptunas. Final minute of the game now. Callahan. Ball on the move. It bypasses him to Darnell Jackson. Looks to go one-on-one. Spin move. Lost it though. It's not really his game to dribble into the paint like that. And he lost the handle on the ball. And then the trap on half court. But there's a foul called on Callahan. You can understand giving the ball to Darnell Jackson to try and go one-on-one because he's been impressive when he's been in the game for Rosa, but not really from those kind of positions. He's either shot the outside shot or he's received the ball closer to the basket. Callahan picks up his fourth. Any conversion here for Neptunas will make it a 3-possession game, which could be enough with 37 seconds to play. There's a foul for Rosa, who had a foul to give. Second on Sokolovsky. Murray Johnson into Majajka, and an offensive foul called against Martinas Majajka. A little too forceful with the shoulder. Now with 36 seconds to play, we're going to have a timeout. Rosa certainly back in business and looking to cause an upset here against Neptunas Klaipėda. Here's the offensive foul, that left shoulder right into the sternum of Sokolovsky. Timeout called. You could see there Coach Kaminski taking quite a while to draw up the play, and then having to be warned to finish the timeout. He didn't have a great deal of time to communicate it to his players. A double-double now for Amari Johnson, 14 points, 10 rebounds for Neptunas. Will that be enough though to help them towards the win that they need to try and win the group? Sokolovsky will inbound it. Let's see how well that message came through. Sokolovsky, long three. Didn't seem to be too much imagination about the play. And the rebound is grabbed by Kachinas. That's an odd play. Sokolovsky's not been shooting the ball well. Across to the far corner it goes. And Darnell Jackson is called for the foul, which will be Rosa's fifth. So it stops the clock with 16.8 to play. And Neptunas have foul shots to try and see this game through. Husak leading Asvel by 9 with 2 minutes to go. So it looks as though the leaders of Group C are going to lose that. Oldenburg are going to beat Varese, that's not in doubt. So, so long as Neptunas cling on here, it looks like it's going to be top spot for them. And Asvel would have to play in the first round of the playoffs. Here's Callahan stepping back for the 3, and he knocks it down. Now they need the quick foul, and they get it from Sokolovski. So 7.4 to play. Still a 4-point Neptunas lead, though. It looks as though the Lithuanian League runners-up are going to get there. But it's perhaps been harder work than he would have envisaged it being. They scored just 9 points in this fourth quarter to make it difficult for themselves. Although there's certainly been an improvement on defence and offence from Rosa. Shaker making his first foul shot. Gets the second as well. 6-point game, 7.4 to play. Callahan just has to launch one. He's off the mark there, and that will do it. Neptunas have done their part of the job. They've beaten Rosa by 6. Coach Kaminski's team end with 9 straight defeats to finish bottom of the pile in Group C. It remains to be seen whether Neptunas will finish top. The final score, Rosa Redom 65, Neptunas Klaipėda 71. So we will wait and watch for the final result in the Husak Asvel game. It is a 9-point differential at the moment with a couple of minutes to play in favour of Husak, so it's looking as though Neptunas will finish as the Group C winners. As we see the overall shooting numbers for the two teams, Neptunas close to 50% inside in the end, and Rosa in the end actually getting the better of Neptunas from downtown after a late show of 3-pointers to try and close the gap, but to no avail in the end. Rebounding numbers very much in favour of Neptunas, double the offensive rebounds, that was key, 14-7 on the offensive glass. 3 big blocks, although they all came early, and they survived having the 1 extra turnover. Good to see the home fans appreciating the efforts of their players in this competition. That is the end of just their second ever journey into continental competition. And it does end in disappointment for them. They were 3-2 after 5 weeks of this campaign, but then lost 9 in a row to finish. Neptunas know that they're going through to the playoffs. They're just concerned now with whether they're going to have to play in a couple of weeks' time in the first stage of the playoffs, or if they'll get a bit of a longer rest from European competition and go straight through to the second stage as the group winners. It looks as though that's going to be the case at the moment. This game finishing a little earlier than the one involving Husak and Asvel. Asvel are going to do all they can over the last 2 minutes to try and come back from that 9-point deficit, but it looks as though it's going to be Neptunas in first in Group C, followed by EVE Oldenburg in second, and then Asvel, who started the day in first, dropping to third. Good to see the players sticking out there on court and showing their appreciation back to the fans who've come here to support them, knowing that they couldn't do anything other than finish bottom here on Group C, and they certainly made a push for it late on. Rosa Redom to try and close the gap and cause an upset. That was a big dunk from Kacinas driving down the baseline. Neptunas in front for the vast majority of the first half by double figures, led by as many as 15 in the second, before Rosa had their late push, but they were able to weather the storm, Neptunas, and come through and pick up their 10th win. They will finish 10-4 in Group C, and it looks as though it's top spot for them. Plenty of other games going on around Europe, plenty of drama, plenty still to be decided on the final day of action in the Basketball Champions League regular season. But from me, Tim Long, and from Redom, it's goodbye for now.